Hello, and welcome to That Computer Is Your Mom, a Gem in the Holograms podcast. This is Allie.
And Josh.
And today we are doing Season 1, Episode 9, The World Hunger Shindig.
Yeah.
My original enthusiasm at the idea of this was really not well thought out. And it had to do with my, enthusiasm for the word shindig. So...
They definitely used the word shindig a lot in this episode.
Yeah, but it didn't bring me any happiness.
Yeah.
So, in a word, appalling. It was super appalling. And racist.
It was pretty racist.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. And we'll just get through it. Oh, I thought at the end we could do a winner and loser of the episode. Like individual persons.
Okay.
Okay. But we'll do that at the end. I should have said that before I turned the recorder on.
No, I already know who's the winner.
We'll go. Is it Zipper?
It is Zipper.
Alright.
Because he got a bunch of his hair back.
We're gonna... we'll get to it. Alright. So... so we start with Jim and the Holograms in a helicopter.
Yeah.
And they helicopter into, I guess, the Houston suburbs? Some ranch.
It's a ranch, yeah.
Near Houston, where it's a barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what happens at the barbecue?
A woman, what is her name?
Sally Brand.
Sally Brand.
They're definitely in Texas, and they want us to know that it's super Texas.
Yeah.
Because it's Texas.
So she describes this bet that she has taken up with who?
The president of the World Hunger Foundation.
All right, with the president of the World Hunger Foundation. That she can raise $8 million for
her
world
foundation,
hunger,
I guess.
Within a week.
She says this after she asks everyone if y'all had enough to eat.
Yeah.
Because she hates to see anybody go hungry.
Right.
Speaking of hunger, here's this World Hunger Foundation lady.
Yeah.
And then,
it's really bad.
And then the helicopter lands. It is being piloted by another generic mustachioed white man. Of which there are so many.
Mm-hmm.
And, they run out and immediately start doing...
That is Gem and the Holograms?
Yes. They run out and they immediately they run up on stage and...
Yeah, there's a lot of running.
Yeah. And they immediately start doing a song.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when it gets real bad.
Yeah.
And what is the song? We Can Make a Difference?
I think that's right, yeah.
If we try.
Yeah.
You want to describe what happens in this music video?
Produce from the United States appears to be parachuted into some sort of arid African land where starving African people gratefully accept it.
Yes. There is a point where Jem is quite big, where small brown people hold hands and circle her.
Yeah.
And it's
really
real bad.
Yeah.
It's
also there's a bit about how red tape somehow is a problem. This is definitely from the 80s. Yeah.
If we cooperate, we can get through the red tape.
Yeah.
Because really the problem of poverty in Africa is just
it was
governmental
the air traffic controllers strike. That was really what was doing it the whole time.
Just like, the EPA and Ghostbusters is the real villain. The 80s are so fucking weird. I mean, really, instead of being called the World Hunger Shindig, it should have just been called Jim and the Holograms, White Saviors. Because that's basically what is happening. And then they're like, if we try, we can...
Not like real hard, but...
Yeah, we can give stuff to these very skinny African people.
There's a lot of images of skinny brown people.
Yeah. Yeah. It's skinny, interchangeable brown people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not good.
No, it's not a good look,
No, it looks real terrible. It's pretty fucking racist and just, like, doesn't hold up and it looks awful. And, yeah. Oh, and then they pan out, like, way out.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the earth in Jim's eye. And it's centered on the continent of Africa.
Right.
So... You shouldn't have done this, you guys. It's real bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just take a moment. Well, I guess we have been, but this is bad, you guys. This is a bad thing.
Yeah.
So I think there's some people who've written really good... Like, what should they Google if people who are unfamiliar with the concept of the white savior? Like, should they Google that? That's probably a good thing to Google. Like, just read a bunch. Like, there's a bunch of people who've written about it. So, yeah, we'll just take that as a layer of goopy racism all over this whole episode.
It's actually not a large portion of the episode.
No. But they do go back to it at the end.
They do go back to it, yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm not saying, like, that it's okay.
No, it's not okay. I'm just... It's definitely... I just want to make sure that we're, like, very hardcore. This is not okay. This is not how you should write stories.
Yeah.
Making the brown people interchangeable is real bad. And you shouldn't do that. So, we are going to go forward and laugh at this episode. But just know that we know that's bad. And they shouldn't have done it. And it's racist. I don't know. What else should I say? Does that pretty well cover it?
I suppose so.
Okay. So... At the barbecue that they're still at, Sally Brand introduces a teen idol from England.
Who looks like he's at least in his 30s.
Oh, that's generous. I would have said 42.
Yeah.
He looks like everybody looks.
Yeah.
But he has
everybody looks like blocky.
Yeah,
all the men
dudes
look blocky.
And he has the worst, like, mush-mouthed English.
It sounds
accent?
more bad Australian accent than bad English accent, really.
It's very Dick Van Dyke from Mary Poppins. Oi, Mary Poppins. I'm a teen idol. I've come from England to come here today. I'll sweep your chimneys. I can keep doing that.
I think Dick Van Dyke did a better job.
It's comparable.
Okay.
And this guy's like, "Oi, Kimber, I like your booty."
Yeah.
He's into Kimber. Are all the holograms, are they all wearing country and western outfits at this point?
I don't remember whether they were at the beginning. They certainly are by the end of the episode.
Everyone except the Misfits. No, they change into country western outfits too.
Yeah. Everybody winds up wearing fringe and 10-gallon hats and cowboy boots.
And like weird, blocky, gross maxi skirts and nipple tassels.
Yeah. That was Jerica, I think.
She had a shirt on.
She had a shirt with like tassels right at the nipple area. I don't think that's a look.
No, it's not a look. It's not a look. I don't know why they would do that. Because it's not a thing. But, okay. So, Eric Raymond shows up.
Mm-hmm.
With his weird divine eyebrows.
Real weird eyebrows.
And he's got the Misfits with him. And they weren't invited.
They weren't?
I don't think so.
I think they were. No?
No, because he's like, don't you have room for the Misfits? Come on.
Oh, he was invited.
Okay.
He's like a paid promoter.
Mm. But the Misfits weren't.
But the Misfits weren't. That's true. They're a backup.
They're a backup. And they're like pissed. Because they have to be number one.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go and they have to stay in the guest house.
With Eric.
Yeah. Do you want to tell that part? They make him sleep on the couch. That's what essentially happens.
Right.
And he's like, don't sweat it. I'll make sure Jim and the Holograms can't show up. Which is like...
Using Zipper.
Right. Which...
All of his efforts to use Zipper to thwart them in the past have failed. So why he would think that it's going to work this time?
Unclear.
Maybe because Zipper seems more competent now that he looks completely different. Because his hairline is totally different, and he's got more hair now.
Uh-huh.
Like, he's got a more advanced hairline.
Yeah.
I'm not wrong about this, am I?
No.
He used to have, like, a real receding hairline on the sides.
Uh-huh.
And now he doesn't. And it doesn't go that way. It only goes the one way. It goes to less rather than more. And also his hair color has changed. I mean, he could have dyed his hair.
Uh-huh.
But you don't get less recession of the hairline.
Right.
So Zipper doesn't make any sense.
The best thing about that explanation is that you were physically showing it on a podcast where no one can see you.
Well, yeah.
You're showing it to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
Everyone knows how, like, male pattern baldness proceeds, like, on the sides.
Uh-huh.
Up.
Towards the back of the head.
Yeah. That's what was happening to Zipper before.
Right.
But now it's not.
So, you thought maybe he got hair plugs.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. He certainly has very black hair now.
Yeah.
Where before, I think it was brown.
Yeah. Which, again, he could have dyed it. That's fine.
Maybe he got there. Do you remember in the 80s they had that spray hair in a can that was on
Maybe.
commercials for it?
Maybe they're advertising that the way they're advertising the Astrodome, which they say over and over again.
They keep talking about the Astrodome. Josh was like wondering if the Astrodome was new. It might have been. I don't know very much about sports or stadiums, so I can't say. But they definitely want you to know that they're in Texas, goddammit. And they
have the fringe to prove it.
Yeah, and even more so than people like saying y'all and stuff all the time, although they use it weird, is that everyone is wearing cowboy boots and fringe.
That is what Texas is like, though, I think, right?
Sure. Because I've never been, but I assume everyone has those, like, cow horns on their cars. Like the Misfits.
Someone does in this episode.
It was the Misfits.
Yeah, it was the Misfits.
Yeah, and when they honk their horns, it plays that Rose of Texas? Is that the thing?
In this episode?
No, I mean everyone in Texas has horns that play the Texas song.
I don't know that song.
Deep in the Heart of Texas?
Mm-mm.
I only know it from Pee Wee Herman. I only know that's a thing from the Pee Wee Herman movie.
Oh, okay. I never saw that.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I think you would like it.
probably.
Okay. This is like an example of how much we did not like this episode. And we're just like talk about literally anything else. Okay, so
Did we mention that it was racist?
it is racist. And it's boring. So,
Except for the hayride.
well, we're not up to the hayride yet though.
Okay.
So
That part's boring too.
yeah. And then, oh, the part where, Synergy has a fake taxi come up,
Mm-hmm.
and she has a fake Jerica get out.
That was pretty clever.
And then as Jim, the real Jim Jerica, passes the hologram Jim Jerica, like, they switch. So,
Although why Jim is like leaving.
she asks the lady if she can go to, like, save her voice.
Oh yeah.
So, and then, like, Rio's like, oh, where were you? And she makes up some excuse like she always does.
She does not care.
About Rio?
No, she's just like, whatever, Rio. I will just make whatever excuse is on the top of my head up right now.
She's like, hey, Rio, I'm gonna do what I want.
I had to. You know what?
Fuck
you,
it.
Rio. I don't care. I was busy.
She's like, don't question me. So, okay, so, I guess, oh, and, what's the name of the English teen heartthrob?
I don't know.
Dick Van Dyke.
Okay.
I see, you know what the sad thing is? I don't even remember what his name is in Mary Poppins. I'm just like, it's Dick Van Dyke.
The Dick Van Dyke character?
He's the chimney sweeper. Oi, Mary Poppins. I've come to with your chimneys. Because I'm a chimney sweeper.
Yeah.
That's an accent that someone has. Okay, so
I can't remember either.
let's call him Paul.
It's definitely not Paul, but sure, that's
It's not
fine.
Paul. So Paul is Pizzaz's ex-boyfriend.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Or at least, like, they hooked up before.
Yeah, clearly. And I think you mentioned in a prior episode that we did that all the men who are good are, like, disgusted by the misfits.
Yeah, really viscerally.
And he's like, ew, I don't like you anymore. I don't do that kind of stuff anymore. Grody. And,
It's, yeah.
yeah. What were you going to say?
Just that it's actually, like, really pretty clearly a double standard, because she's like, oh, you, like... I mean, basically, like, you still, like, sleep around, basically, right?
Yeah.
He's like, no, I don't like that, and you're disgusting. It's like, clearly, he
Was doing
that before.
And so, Paul is, like, into Kimber. And
For whatever reason.
And let's see.
Because she wrote the song that they sang.
Yes.
The
The
racist
racist
song.
song. Good job, Kimber. And
He's into racism, apparently. And birds.
sure. She's sitting at a picnic table and, like, like Snow White. This bird just comes right up to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's, like, feeding it.
It's just hungry, basically.
She's, like, feeding it scraps. And he's like, "Oi, so you can charm the birds of the air." And she knows what he says.
That's why he likes her, is she's the only one who can understand him.
He says, "You can charm the birds out of the air." And she's like, "Oh, well, this one's practically tame."
Mm-hmm.
And Rio and Jerica's like, "Oh, Rio, I wanted to spend the day with you." And he's like, what does he do?
He's like distant.
Yeah.
Because of her systematic disrespect of him.
True. And
or maybe for another reason, but...
The show always frames it as Rio being, like, real unreasonable.
Yeah, but he's not. Like, really, he should leave her and, like, find someone who...
is not pretending to be two people.
Yeah. Presents him with a modicum of respect. I don't know.
That's really kind of what everybody would want.
You would think.
At least some respect. But he tells her, no, he doesn't want to hang with her. He's got to go to the Astrodome. But he's definitely going to call her at 10 o'clock. And then Sally Brand lady is like, yeah, whatevs, like, hang out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, don't go any ravines.
Yeah, you gotta steer clear of the ravines.
It's Flash Flood season.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens?
Is it the horse riding?
Is the horse riding.
Everybody goes out horse riding. Not Rio.
No, he left.
But Paul, or the guy we're calling Paul. And all of the holograms.
Not his real name, Paul.
No, that's not his real name. And some other dudes whose identity is unclear to me.
Right.
They're just kind of spending the day at the ranch, basically. They don't...
They, like, really stretch it out, and they still have extra time at the end.
Yeah.
To show Kimber's racist song again.
So they're just, like, riding around on horses, which are running weirdly fast, given that we don't know that anybody has real horse riding experience. It seems kind of dangerous.
Yeah. And then they go swimming. Hey, Sparkles. How's it going?
And then they get a phone call. Paul gets a phone call, right?
Yeah, on this, like, gigantic cell phone.
Yeah.
And, the person on the phone is like, Paul, you gotta come into Houston and sign these papers today.
Mm-hmm.
So he leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And then... I guess the other dudes leave too.
I guess.
Because the Jim and the holograms are, like, by themselves.
And they get kidnapped.
Yeah.
By Zipper.
Uh-huh. And the bald dude.
And some other guy. Yeah, the bald guy.
Who doesn't have a name.
Who knows?
We'll call him Bill.
Even Zipper, I think, might be a different Zipper, so... Do names really mean anything in this show?
Is anything
Certainly
real?
Certainly not the way we treat them, since we can't remember half of them.
I think we remember the important people's names.
Do we? We don't remember Paul's name.
Is he important?
To this episode, he is.
True. His name is... His name is, Paul Biden.
Like the vice president?
I was gonna say his first name, but I can't remember it. Joe. It's Joe.
You couldn't remember the vice president's first name?
That's what happened.
Okay.
So Paul, whose name is Joe Biden.
Okay. So his name is Joe Biden now.
Uh-huh.
Teen heartthrob Joe Biden.
He's waxing his Camaro.
Yeah.
And his shirt is off.
That was why he had to go into Houston.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Oh, my name is Joe Biden."
Yep. That's what happened in this episode.
I don't want to deal with what really happened because it's boring, and the person are boring or racist.
That's true.
And everyone's wearing really ugly country and western outfits, and like I don't even like country and western outfits, but these country and western outfits look real bad.
They don't have them play any country and western music.
No. So, they get kidnapped by Zipper and the bald guy.
True.
What happens?
They lead them down an arroyo. Is that the word?
I don't know.
A ravine. That's probably not the word.
I think they say ravine.
No, ravine is the word. Arroyo probably isn't. And then she gets a hologram of first heavy rain.
Right.
Which doesn't seem like it would be a very effective hologram. Because there's a tactile component to rain if you're out in the rain, as well as the visual component. But then there's a simulation of a flash flood, and I guess Zipper and the other dude fall for it. Because they run away.
And you would think at this point that they would report back to Eric Raymond that Jerica and the holograms are dead.
Right.
Because it should have looked like they were dead.
That's true.
But they're not dead. And no one ever questions this.
No. They also don't ever say, like, we're always thwarted by the appearance of things that aren't actually happening.
Like those lions?
Like the lions, yeah.
Yeah. Were there lions?
They
no,
don't notice
there clearly were
like
not lions.
Like a pattern in this.
No. And Jerica never reports it to the police. Or any authority. Like, hey, this one guy whose name is Zipper, which I know because he wears a jacket with his name on the back of it, which you shouldn't do if you're a criminal.
Maybe they imagine that is just like instructions on how to wear the jacket.
And like she's never like, hey, I keep getting kidnapped by this guy who has instructions for how to wear his jacket on the back. Maybe I should tell someone.
Also, he put a bomb under my couch cushion once.
And tried to kill me with a gargoyle.
Yeah.
While doing graceful balletic leaps over the rooftops. Well.
He's a man of many talents, but none of them are relevant to his job because he's very bad at his job.
It's true. It is true. Well, at any rate, so that part is over.
Sure.
And Joe Biden.
Meanwhile, Joe Biden is dragged out to basically to that bar from the Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
But
he promised Kimber, though, that he was going to meet her.
Yeah, but then the Misfits, tell him she's going to meet him at the bar.
Which is not true.
No. And then,
but you would think if he had known Roxy for 5 minutes, he would, be like, wait a minute.
He's not a very clever dude.
No.
That Joe Biden.
So.
Who we were calling Paul before.
Joe Biden. I transitioned.
Yeah.
Because then I called him Paul Biden. Those hard root beers the best. So, Joe Biden.
So the Misfits perform at this bar.
Yes.
Well, he looks increasingly exasperated and bored.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says with his words that he's bored.
Do you remember the name of the song?
Gimme, gimme, gimme.
Yeah.
It's about how they want
money.
Gimme.
Yeah, they want stuff and money.
Yeah.
And
really whatever. In the song itself, a burger, I think.
She did steal
some dude's burger she takes a bite out of.
And then she throws it back at him.
Yeah.
And ketchup and mustard goes on his face.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, well.
He doesn't seem to mind.
No.
Actually, the audience is really into it. Everybody except for Joe Biden.
Yeah. Joe Biden is not into this song.
No.
It's not his kind of thing.
No.
He's going to get back on the train and go back to Delaware.
Yes.
But the best part about that song is when Pizzazz is like, the only thing I give for free is attitude. And I was like, yeah. Get it, Pizzazz. So Joe Biden was going to meet Kimber for the hayride.
Yeah.
But he missed it.
Yeah.
So.
But they don't miss it, as it turns out.
Because what happens?
Because then the Misfits take him on a Blue Velvet style joyride away from the bar, and then the hayride is going on because apparently after having been kidnapped by Zipper and the bald guy, not only did the Holograms not want to report it, they're still going to do the day's like fun activities. They're just going to finish out those activities.
But they did commit to them.
Yeah, so they are on the hayride. They're like in this big hay wagon with Clydesdales on the front of the cart.
Okay, have you ever been on a hayride with horses?
No.
No, all the hayrides I ever went on were pulled by like tractors.
Sure.
But the hay was not 20 feet over
it's
the
a
cart.
Large mound of hay.
And you were sort of grasping onto the sides. Like, they put hay bales in there, and you sit on the hay bales and just sort of are like, yeah, that's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of go around. I don't know about the hayride. I'm kind of like, can I get 4G out here? Because, like, this is boring.
What about a haunted hayride?
What is involved in a haunted hayride?
Guys, like, chase after you, and they have, like, buzz saws with the blades removed. And they just, like, run them, and they are wearing, like, Halloween masks.
I do not think I would like that. It wouldn't be boring.
They just, like, run up next to you, and then they run the thing, and it's real loud.
Yeah. I was in a haunted house once with my friend in high school, and we were kind of like, this is kind of dopey, blah, blah. We went around, you know, and, like, somebody jumped out. We were like, but then it was, like, fine. Until, like, the dude with the saw with the blades taken out came out. And, like, I seriously, this friend was like, if someone's got to go, it's going to be you. Because she, like, shoved me at the guy and then took off running. And I fell down.
That's pretty good.
And I was just like, so, like, basically, like, you're going to, like, kill me to save yourself. And she was like, yeah.
There was one that I went to in, I think, high school. And the thing that was most frightening about it was that the people ahead of us were both, like, clearly super drunk, and also were, like, playing with lighters or something, and we were like, they're gonna burn the whole place down.
Oh, no.
Because it's, like, surrounded with sheets and stuff. It, like, looked very flammable.
That's no good.
Yeah.
We should do the penitentiary Eastern State Haunted House this year.
Okay.
We didn't do it last year because we were busy. But Mickey says it's good. Their hayride was not haunted.
No. Except by the threat
Possess.
of the Misfits car. Because it, like, does it crash into them?
It does.
Kind of
Or
surprised.
does it crash into them, or do they swerve out of the way?
I think that they must swerve out of the way, because if they crashed into them, they would die.
Right. She just has those pointy cow antlers. I don't know how anyone survives a car accident in Texas. You'd think they'd all stab each other with their cow antlers. That they all have on their cars.
But the hay cart, like, tumbles over,
Mm-hmm.
and the axle just breaks all the way off.
Yeah, the wheel goes tumbling away, and the dude's like, let me check out the damage. And you're just like, the wheel fell off, guy. Like, it's over. No more hayride.
Yeah.
So, they have to walk home.
Yeah. Also, Kimber is upset.
Right. Because she saw Joe Biden in the car with Possess.
Yeah.
We should always pick, like, a celebrity name when we don't remember the names, because this is very funny to me.
Which is every time.
It's every time. She's like, ooh, that Joe Biden.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna talk to him again.
That's what she says.
Yeah. Aja and Shayna don't really get to talk in this episode.
I don't remember them saying anything.
Right. So, let's see. Oh, and Rio tries to call.
Yeah.
What does he do?
I didn't even remember that he tried to call.
He's like very like, pick up the phone. And he's like, yeah. And he's all shitty and grumpy and weird.
Well, it's kind of understandable if she's just like ignoring him for days at a time.
She did say she wanted to spend time with him. And
Yeah.
he was like, I'm busy. I will
Yeah.
call you at this time. And then she wasn't there because she had to walk back
Mm-hmm.
from Joe Biden's haunted hayride.
Right.
And, then what happens? Then it's time.
Is it the World Hunger Shindig?
It is the World Hunger Shindig. It's time.
So we see that Zipper is manning one of the ticket-taking booths.
Mm-hmm.
And rather than collecting money for charity like he's supposed to be, he's just like stuffing it in a briefcase.
Yep. Pretty obviously, too. And,
Yeah.
like, if the ticket taker, like, takes your money, and they're like, and, like, dip down,
That's pretty much the situation.
and, like, shove it in a briefcase. I don't know. You already got your ticket, so
Yeah, what do you care?
it's true. So, like, Eric Raymond has, like, a two-pronged plan.
Mm-hmm.
One is steal money.
Mm-hmm. That's just for him.
Right.
And presumably Zipper.
Right.
He gets a flat fee.
He gets a
rather than
flat fee.
percentage.
Rather than a
This is-
percentage.
This is explained at one point.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, does the audience of this show know about percentages?
That was probably before we had done percentages. Or do they understand the concept of the flat fee?
Yeah, like versus a percentage? I don't think so.
That seems unlikely. Okay, so,
Maybe that was the educational content of it.
maybe.
It certainly wasn't teaching they're teaching viewers about Africa.
No. I kind of wish they would do those little things like they used to do on G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
The ones that that guy made the pork chop sandwiches
Yeah.
out of. They don't do that,
No.
but you can tell I don't care about this episode because I'm just like, let's talk about weird YouTube videos. Pork chop sandwiches.
This episode does teach you about how government regulation is why there is human suffering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Government regulations.
Yeah.
So...
It allows people like Eric Raymond to thrive. What we really need is tort reform.
Just nodding. Yep. Tort reform. Gotta cap those torts.
Yeah.
Okay, so... a dude in a uniform comes up in a golf cart.
That's true.
And what does he do?
Does he give it to the holograms?
No,
Or does he drive them?
He drives them.
Oh, it's the bald guy.
It's Bill! But
Is that what we decided his name was?
Yeah. But we don't know it at the time.
Because he's wearing a hat?
He's wearing a hat over
You
his...
can usually tell if a guy is bald whether or not he's wearing a hat. Is that like the extent of his disguise?
Yeah.
Man, the holograms deserve to get kidnapped.
They're kind of used to it by now, aren't they?
You'd think they would be a little more careful.
Yeah, they should have bodyguards.
Yeah, like famous people do.
Yeah.
Which they are.
Right. Well, anyway.
Anyway, Kimber stays back.
Because
Joe Biden is
Joe Biden.
driving up in a golf cart of his own.
You have to say it that way.
How?
Joe Biden.
I'm going to let you say it.
That's how Joe Biden makes everyone say his name.
He's driving up in a golf cart and he's like, hey, Kimber, let me explain my douchebaggery from the other night when we destroyed your hay cart.
Right.
And she's like, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else drives off with Bob?
Bill the ball guy.
Bill the bald guy, who is the
Cleverly
co-worker of
disguised.
Zipper.
Also, the first time we've met Bill is this episode.
Oh, is he going to be back in other episodes?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But... So, Joe Biden...
Yeah, he explains himself to Kimber, which she just accepts really readily, actually. She's just like, oh, the misfits tricked you? Okay, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I will still make out with you.
Do they make out?
No, but, like, she will. Like, she's willing to.
Yeah. So, Joe Biden takes Kimber, I guess, backstage.
To make out.
Sure. And then what happens to Jem and Shayna and Aja?
They are taken to a poorly disguised trap, which says it's a dressing room.
What does it look like?
It looks like it says, like, Jem and the Holograms written on the door with a pencil.
And a poorly
drawn star.
Uh-huh.
And they go in for no discernible reason.
Yeah.
And then Bill reveals his identity as Bill.
He whips that cap off and he's like, "It's Bill the ball guy!"
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "Eh."
And they could have figured that.
But they didn't.
They didn't.
And Bill locks them in.
Yep.
And then what happens?
I don't know what does happen then. I mean, they escape eventually.
They escape via the vents, and
Yeah.
I guess simultaneously while this is happening, Eric Raymond is explaining his embezzlement plan. He's embezzling again.
Yeah.
That's all he knows.
He never goes to jail for it seems like. So why would he stop, really?
He's like, I'm embezzling because it's all I know how to do, and it's my way.
Are you saying we should feel sorry for him?
Meh. He is pretty unpleasant. But all he knows is embezzling and kidnapping.
Yeah.
It's been in his family
and
for
trying
generations.
to explode people with bombs or drop gargoyles on them.
Yeah, he's pretty violent. he really should be separated from other people because he's very violent.
Yeah.
So.
So sinister eyebrows.
Yeah, real cuckoo eyebrows. So he's like, give me the money. It's not a percentage. And then he puts the money in the ducks. And...
You might have to explain that.
The air ducts?
Oh, yeah.
And Jem and Shayna and Aja are crawling
I literally
through.
thought there was something with ducks, like the birds, that
quack,
I
quack.
had forgotten.
No, DUCTS, ducks.
I get it now.
Maybe it's my accent. Maybe there should be like more of a differentiation between those words, but...
Ducks. Ducts.
Yeah.
Ducts.
I'm probably not going to say it that way. So... Jem and Aja and Shayna are in the...
Ducts.
Yes.
Air ducts.
Yeah, and they're crawling around. And they're
They're
probably...
big enough for people.
They're probably getting super dusty. And my allergies would be going crazy.
Their clothes are holographic anyway.
Oh, are they naked all the time?
No, they've probably got some clothes on, but they're not holographic, hologramic. I don't know.
I don't know.
They can just like project a clean version
That's true.
of what they're wearing.
Okay, so there's the briefcase with the money, and Jem's like, oh, what's this? She tries to get out. Eric Raymond has left. And Zipper's like, I'm gonna take that money, because fuck you, Eric Raymond.
Is he just gonna take it away?
It looked like he was to me. They don't really say, do they?
I don't remember them saying.
But he does open it.
Yeah.
You know what happens?
A snake hologram?
Yeah. A
It
snake.
scares him off.
A cobra snake.
Yet again.
The scariest kind of snake.
At some point you'd think Zipper would think, hey, I keep seeing these unlikely things that turn out not to be there. Maybe I should...
Poke it with a stick.
I don't know. Do something different from just react as though this is what is actually happening.
Yeah. I think Joe Biden's out of the story at this point. I don't think we see him again.
Really?
Yeah. Because it's just the...
Just him and Kimber making out.
So, he somehow also gets in the air ducts and...
Joe Biden?
No, Zipper.
Oh, sure.
And meanwhile, also simultaneously... I forgot what I was going to say.
Was she...
It's this Sally lady.
Yeah.
Okay. Is her last name Bland?
I don't think so.
Does it start with a B?
I don't know.
You don't know. So Sally, the lady, is there. And once again, we're in the same situation where, like, the holograms are supposed to go on. And, like, one of them or somebody's missing.
You're right. Oh, it's Brand.
Brand.
Sally
okay.
Brand.
Oh, I was close. So it's the same situation from the Battle of the Bands where they're supposed to go on, but they're not there, and someone's like, please just wait.
Yeah.
And so Kimber's there, and she's like, they'll be here, please just wait. And, and so, Eric Raymond's there, and he's like, you have to let the Misfits go on.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think that this would be like a, once again, a pattern, but nobody recognizes patterns. So, Oh, and the whole thing is that the Misfits want to get on the concert
Album. For no obvious reason. Since the whole thing is a charitable thing.
Yeah, for international recognition is what Eric Raymond says.
Right.
But Pizzazz is like, I don't do shit for free. And that
it's a good policy.
Is a proper attitude. She's like, I should be paid. So, now what happens? Oh, I guess they chase him out.
They chase who out?
Zipper chases the holograms.
Does he? They wind up, when they go through the ducts, they wind up, like, above the stage, right?
Yeah, on the thing that's counting down the money.
Yeah.
The scoreboard.
Yeah. And then they perform.
Yeah.
They do another song.
Mm-hmm. About sharing.
Ugh.
And the Misfits actually join in.
Yeah, it's both them and the Misfits.
Mm-hmm.
I guess world hunger brings them together.
Sure. They put aside their differences.
Is that what we're supposed to understand? I don't think... They just all perform it for some reason. It's not real clear why.
And then... Then what happens? I guess it's over at that point.
Pretty much. I mean, they're short some money, but then somebody points out that Eric Raymond had been skimming.
Because he's an embezzler.
Who points that out?
Jim has the money.
Oh, yeah. She's got the briefcase, so she gives it to Sally Brand.
Oh, Jesus.
Whatever. And then Sally Brand makes Eric Raymond give up his, like, promotion fee as well.
Mm-hmm.
For no real obvious reason.
Well, he did steal.
Yeah. I guess that's what it is. Maybe she's like, I will tell the police that you were stealing money otherwise.
Sure. And then...
It's left ambiguous.
They make their goal amount.
Which is $8 million.
Right. And then... That's it. And there's fireworks.
Yeah,
and Joe Biden does not come back.
And then they repeat that song from earlier.
Yeah.
The racist one.
Right. They do the video and everything. Not the whole thing, but...
No.
The part where the
grateful skinny African people are
yeah,
receiving food from airplanes. It's really not a good look.
No, it's terrible, and it's completely like ignorant of like history and colonialism and everything, and it's very like Reagan-y 80s. Like,
yeah.
Josh hates Reagan.
Yeah.
It's true. So, alright. Let's finish up. Okay. Oh, hi, Sparkles. On a scale of 1 to 5 in outrageousness, how much outrageousness would you give this episode? 5 is the most.
It's pretty outrageous, but not in a good way.
Yeah. I feel like outrageousness, I don't know. In the context of how the show uses the word, it's supposed to be good. But you may use it in your own context.
I'm gonna say 5 of bad outrageousness.
Yeah, I mean, if it's bad outrageousness, then I have to agree because it's racist and it's boring.
Yeah.
And everyone's like super into country western stuff, which I don't like.
Although all of the music is the same as
it always
music.
is, yeah.
But Zipper is not the same as he always is. He looks weird and really different.
Okay, so Sparkles is giving me pats. She's sitting right next to me.
That's the most notable part of the episode, is that Zipper wildly changed his appearance.
Yeah, I do not care for this episode at all. If you're, like, watching these, just skip this one. It's awful, and it will make you, like the show better if you don't watch this episode. And the next one's Adventures in China, and I, like, shudder to fucking think what we're gonna, like, get out of that. There's gonna be some, like, red baiting, I'm sure.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cold War was still on at this point.
True.
Okay.
Wait.
So.
Was it?
Yeah. This is before the Berlin Wall came down.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so episode winner.
The winner?
Yeah, winner. Winners and losers time. Who's the winner?
Do you have a choice?
I'm gonna say it's Pizzazz.
Okay, why?
Well, because she said the only thing that you can get from her for free is attitude.
Oh.
And she tried to kill Jericho with her car.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to say Zipper because he figured out a way to reverse the aging process.
That's your final choice? It's a good choice.
Yeah.
Okay. Losers in the episode.
Rio, clearly.
Yeah, how come?
Because he's kind of like, Jericho, could you pay even like a modicum of attention to me? Or, give at least a plausible excuse for why you're not? And she's kind of basically like, no. And he's like, okay, I'm just going to mope.
Pretty hard
That's
moping.
pretty much all he does in the whole episode is like some moping.
Yeah, it's true. Losers. Everyone who watches this episode is a loser. I have lost. You have lost. We've all lost. If I had to pick someone from the episode, I'm going to pick Kimber for writing a racist song.
It's fair.
I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else about this episode?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. I'm really looking forward to the skiing contest one.
That's
two episodes away. Although I'm like, well, can the China one be worse?
Worse? Probably not.
Probably not.
Equivalent possible?
Yeah. I'm like, here. Okay, predictions. What do you predict for Adventures in China?
I'm sure they will visit the Great Wall.
Mm-hmm.
Probably they will not visit Mao Zedong. But that'd be pretty awesome if they did.
Wasn't he dead by then?
Well, yeah.
I predict they are going to be culturally insensitive. At the very least.
It seems safe.
Yeah, and I also predict we're going to all get a learning lesson about why communism is bad.
Maybe.
Communism is good, you guys. You should check it out.
I bet there'll be something about how we need to, like, overcome our differences.
Yeah. Kimber's gonna fuck up and get, like, trapped somewhere. She's, like...
Trapped?
Yeah. Joe Biden's gonna come and try to save her.
I think he was a once-off guy. Do you remember him?
No.
He does not seem like an important character.
No. It's true. You'd be surprised if Joe Biden comes back.
We've really got to remember his name if he does. But, yeah, I would be surprised.
Alright. Well, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Alright, so this has been, That Computer Is Your Mom. Check us out on Facebook. Look up That Computer Is Your Mom. I made it real easy that way. And, we'll see you next time. Hopefully it won't take us so long. We had a little bit of private issues with our house needing a lot of repairs, so... It was truly fucking outrageous.
That's true.
And horrendous.
Not in a fun way.
And ongoing.
Yeah.
But we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.